ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Just Plain Living. I had to think for a moment here. What is the name of this show? What am I doing
Jim,
here?
welcome home.
Well, it's nice to be back. I'm filling in today for our good buddy.
I'm Peggy Burton. I just want to say hello to Julia. And where in the heck have you been?
Julia, in case you don't know, is one of our, let's see, Julia did a number of jobs with us.
She did a lot of things.
Yeah, she kind of lined up all the guests and everything. She was very important to the show, and she has been absent because of COVID for over a year now, or about a year.
And this is long enough. COVID is done.
We're about ready to bring Julia back. Yeah. So anyway,
I missed her. She always made me smile.
As I mentioned, John is not with us today, and he'll be back next week. But I'm going to do my best to fill in for John Gray.
You're here.
It's nice to be back. Right. You know, I used to do this show all the time, and haven't been here in a while.
Somebody asked me when I started this show. I have no idea.
I was wondering that myself.
It seemed like I was just passing through here one day, and y'all needed somebody on the set.
John was out because of his work at the time, his real job, because it's hard to make a living doing local television. I think we needed somebody to fill in for a while, and Peggy came in temporarily, and we just kept her probably for in excess of 10 years anyway.
It's been
maybe 15.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a long, long time.
That's right. You know, a lot of people, I noticed last night the Stephen Colbert show for the first time in, 400 days, I think they said. They actually had a live audience.
They had real people
out there,
so nice to see. I'm getting really tired of those little boxes.
Right, exactly.
Filled up with people.
You know, and for somebody that's a big entertainer, as you are, Peggy, I'm sure that it's tough to work without an audience in that environment, because you kind of feed off that audience.
Especially when you're doing theater or singing and stuff like that. You like the reaction of live audience.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people have been hurting this past year due to that.
Right.
All people in the creative arts.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But those pit workers out there that go every day regardless of what's going on, the garbage collectors, the road people, the police, the nurses, they have to keep going. They didn't get to take a vacation.
Absolutely.
If you want to call it a vacation.
Well, yeah, and it wasn't
like a prison
it wasn't a very pleasant vacation by any stretch of the imagination. As you know, and all of us know, because it was actually kind of depressing.
It really was, and I think I stuck it out about a month before I just thought, well, okay, here I go, I'm going out. So
right.
I'm breaking out.
Right, break it out. That's right. And a lot of people, now COVID is not a big significant thing right now. It's possible it could come back, but right now it seems
pretty well calmed down, and things seem to be getting back to some sort of normal.
If you're Peggy and I's age, you've likely had the vaccine, so.
Oh yeah.
So
I think I was the first one. I was the oldest one in the world.
Yeah, I wanted to get back into life as well. So anyway.
I kind of dreaded it, but I went ahead with it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, everybody does. Were you sick when you had your
second shot?
Second shot,
I was sitting on this set the next day, and I had gotten up with a headache and a fever of 101. So I took a Tylenol and I came here. I don't hardly have any memory of that day.
Yeah.
I went home, got in the bed, and woke up at 4 o'clock the next morning.
Oh my goodness.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
But it was over just like that. It was as quick as it came on. It was over.
Yeah, I think I had my shot late in the afternoon one day, and I got up the next morning feeling normal, and thought, I've escaped all this.
Yeah.
And somewhere around noon, I'm at work, and all of a sudden
there's sort of a time span, and I think I don't know why. Maybe some people are more susceptible.
Yeah.
And easily are affected.
Yeah, and some people, especially young folks, just cruised right on through that.
Yeah.
So
doesn't bother them a bit.
Yeah. We have a new manufacturer, and I forgot their name, but that's going to produce vaccines as well. An additional one that gives us 4 now, I think.
Right.
So
I just wondered about, what was it, the Johnson's?
Johnson & Johnson
was a little less
effective, and they had some issues there at one time, but it's all ironed out. And I think this is Nova something or other that came out yesterday. So there's certainly no shortage of vaccines right now.
I wonder if people are going. I'm going to mention this. The art show, art exhibit at the Fine Arts Center is about farmers, and I'm all about farmers, and I think that's such a wonderful thing to do. And I'm hoping people. I think it's open till the end of the month, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm hoping people will go to our local art center and see that.
Yeah,
It's a
absolutely.
wonderful exhibit.
You do know something or a thing or two about farmers,
I do.
don't you?
I've been on a farm, I've milked a cow, and I've gathered eggs, and I have walked through horse dew.
Yeah. That's just kind of a normal thing. I lived not really on a farm, but with my grandmother when I was young, and a lot of people do recreational gardening because they think it's fun.
Yeah.
And we had a garden because that's how we ate.
Well, that's how we ate,
and
too.
so when I was about 5 years old, I mean, I'm working in that garden with my grandmother, and because it was required.
Right.
And I never have had a desire to have a garden.
Frankly,
since
I
then.
think it's the greatest experiences of my life because I learned early on if you wanted to eat, you had to work.
Yeah,
You had to
exactly.
pay your dues and get out there and dig it out.
Right.
And
Exactly.
honestly, my sister kind of hated it. She didn't like milking cows and that kind of stuff, but I didn't care.
Yeah.
I was fine with it. I used to have dates that would come sit on a milk stew and watch me milk a cow.
It's because Peggy was and still is a beautiful lady, and so I can see a young man sitting
Well,
there watching you
I
milk
just
cows.
thought, if you want to be friends with me, you had to see what my life was like.
That's right.
This
That's
is
the way
it.
That's the
I'm
way
taking
it
a bath
is.
in a creek today.
Yeah, I've done that as well.
Yeah.
I've done that as well because we
I
didn't.
think we were lucky.
I think so too.
I think we were lucky.
We actually didn't have water at our house, and we had to walk about a quarter of a mile to get water from the spring.
Yeah.
Except for the water you take a bath in, and we had a little barrel, and we caught water in there, which is a new thing for environmentalists now.
Just
that
to
you
catch water.
catch rainwater.
We caught rainwater,
yeah.
and it was. In fact, I remember my mother said it was better to wash your hair with rainwater.
I've heard that as well.
Was good for your hair, and
Yeah.
so we did that. And then we took a bath in the creek in the summer, and in the winter we took a bath in a steel tub or
wash
something.
tub.
Yeah.
Wash tub, yeah. I remember that also.
I remember when we first got electricity in our house, and the first thing my dad did was get a bathroom installed and, put in plumbing and all that. And I was just so thrilled to death that everybody came to my house, I'd try to get them to take a bath.
Really?
Yeah. I'm so proud.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see that. We never did have indoor plumbing when I was a kid.
Lots of memories.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that tells you how old I am. I remember fussing at my sister because she told me we were going to have a movie in our house, and she was talking about a TV.
Uh-huh.
And I said, "You're lying. You don't." And I think I tried to have a fight with her about it. But anyway, I go that far back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we didn't have TV either because we didn't have electricity at that stage of the game. But I remember some of the neighbors had TVs. I thought it was amazing. And it's hard for people today to realize that TV didn't used to be on 24/7.
I know.
TV used to go off even when it was pretty common.
That's right.
It used to go off at midnight or something.
Do you know
like
that I even remember, and I was very small, my grandpa had some kind of apparatus on the wall that turned into a radio. And I remember hearing when Pearl Harbor was bombed.
No kidding.
I heard that on the radio, and I remember that. It was very strong in my memory, although I was really small.
Yeah, we had a radio as well, and it was some kind of sort of battery powered.
Yeah,
you had to
I think that's what we
crank it
had.
or something. I forget, but I used to listen to the Grand Ole Opry on that radio, which is
The Grand Ole Opry. Do you know what year that started?
it's been on
been a
for over
long,
100
long
years.
time. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
been a long,
it had
long
started
time.
quite a while before I was born, I think. But that was a big deal.
I've sort
for
of
us.
enjoyed the new way the Grand Ole Opry is producing shows because it's not as loud, it's not as lit up, it's been a little calmer and more acoustic.
Right.
I've enjoyed that. I try to watch it sometimes.
When I was a young man working in Atlanta, everybody you'd run into, you tell them where you're from, and they said, "Oh, you ever been to the Grand Ole
Yeah,
Opry?"
it's always the Grand
And
Ole
at that
Opry.
time I had not.
Well, to tell you the
but
truth, I've only been once in my life.
I think I only
Yeah.
been once, but
I was not a big Opry fan as a young person.
Right.
I was more into jazz and blues and that kind of stuff.
Right.
But I have come to appreciate it a lot.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Because it's our music right here.
Yeah.
But we also have blues and jazz in our era here.
Yeah.
Area. And I still like all that.
Yeah.
So.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Before I forget, congratulations to you, the University of Tennessee and Vanderbilt University, their baseball teams, both of them of which are in the College World Series.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, there's 8 teams, I think, across the country that are in the College World Series. 2 of those are from
Tennessee.
So
I know, that's wonderful.
I think that kicks off probably this weekend.
Yeah.
And it takes them it's best 2 out of 3, so it'll take them probably till the end of the month to determine who's the champion. So, but
Tennessee is always looking good in the sports world, and
we've had some down years in football, but basketball and baseball have been pretty good the last few years.
I keep wondering, will we keep raising those tall basketball players?
They get bigger and bigger.
Get bigger and bigger. I know.
Bigger. Yeah, I was at Office Max, I guess, the other day, and there's a life-size picture of Shaq O'Neal. He's 7'1" or something like that. He's huge, and and it was actual size. And I walked up and I thought, unbelievable that a man could have actually be this big. So
that makes me think the first giant I ever saw. I was a teenager and I was in New York City, and there was this little bar close to where we were staying. And I walked in there, and there was a man sitting on a stool, a short stool, and he still towered above my head.
Yeah.
And he was with the circus.
Yeah, unreal.
He was really a tall man.
Yeah.
But we have a fireman that's
We have a fireman.
tall,
He's the tallest fireman in the world.
He's the tallest in the world.
To the Guinness
Tullahoma's famous
Book
for so many
of
things. I love it.
Yeah. 7 foot. No, 6. He's just a tad shy of 7.
A tad shy of 7. That's
foot.
right.
So anyway.
Well, I think they're about to turn us off.
Yeah, I know. When we start off on this segment, we look over there and it shows us how much time we got to cover. And Peggy and I wondered, what are we going to talk about?
What are we going to talk
about? And it's all gone now.
It's all gone. Yeah.
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Stay with us, because when we come back right after this, we're going to have a park ranger that's going to join us here and tell us about the Timms Ford Park, I believe. We'll be right back in just a moment.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me at Life Care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
The individuals with dementia, those with Parkinson's, those that have maybe mobility issues, need caregivers. Well, those caregivers are 24 hours a day at home, and they never get a rest. And if they have to go to work, they're kind of out of luck. So that's why Trinity came into existence 25 years ago, to allow the caregivers to have a safe center where they could put their loved ones, know they would be well cared for, stimulated, fed good nutritious meals, have activities to their level, and then the caregiver can stop by and pick them up and go on home and have some continuity into their life.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're pleased to have joining us now Sean Suttle, who is the park manager at Timms Ford State Park here in Tullahoma, Franklin County area. As park manager, what exactly do you do? Talk a little bit about that.
So my overall job is just to kind of organize all the different areas of the park. So we work with, I've got 4 rangers that work underneath me. We handle all the, the law enforcement, the recreational side, trying to help people have a good time. Medical response, that side. But also I have a crew of maintenance people. I have a golf course staff that helps maintain the golf course. I've got people that clean cabins, and then I have people that work in the office and just help with reservations and help people have a good time.
It just occurred to me, and I've known Sean for about 10 minutes, but it just occurred to me when you told me you were park manager that's a lot of stuff you got to be able to. Golf course, number one, it could be a job in itself.
It is,
and I'm sure that park encompasses a pretty wide area.
We are. We're approximately 1,500 acres, and we help with a lot of the TVA lands. We also help just with basic safety on the lake, so an 11,000 acre lake, and we're out there on the water. We have 6 islands on the park, so 6 of the islands out there in the lake are actually state park property, so that's part of our lands that we manage every day. So yeah, it's a lot.
So you mentioned the islands. Is that something you guys have to go out there and look around?
We do.
Check all the...
So we actually have primitive campsites out on those islands, and so we allow people to go out there. You can reserve them. During this past year, they were extremely popular because you could go out there by yourself, and it was just you and your family.
Right.
So we do monitor those as well. We have a pack in, pack out policy. So if you do camp out there, we just ask that you take everything with you when you leave.
Right.
And most people do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
The public does a pretty good job of keeping them cleaned up themselves, actually.
Now, as a park ranger, I assume you probably got the authority to arrest somebody
yes, sir.
if they don't do the right thing.
Yes, sir.
Right.
We hope we don't have to go there, but if we do, that's something we can do.
Right. How did you get into this? What you interested?
So I was in the military for almost a decade and got out, decided to use my GI Bill. Went to school for a biology degree at Austin Peay State University. While I was transitioning from my bachelor's to my master's degree, I didn't have anything to do for the summer. So I'd been recommended working for state parks as a seasonal employee. So I got hired by Tennessee State Parks to go do a bunch of programs, help people have a good time on parks, and fell in love with it. And that just became something that I was like, this sounds like I get to use all the skills, the things I've learned in school. I get to use a little bit of my military career, and I just kind of fell in love with being on a park all the time. So I pursued that when I finished my master's degree. Got hired at Chickasaw State Park out in West Tennessee, and transferred here about 3 years ago to be the park manager. Right.
And you seem to, as you said, you gotta love that kind of thing.
I love it.
Yeah,
can't beat it.
Yeah, it never occurred to me actually, but your background in biology probably is quite helpful in that environment. Is it
yes,
not?
sir. But we rangers, we hire them from a variety of backgrounds. So we've got history people, we've got English as a second language people. Any way that you can find a way to use your degree to help market yourself, to help people come out and enjoy nature and have fun on your park, we're all about it.
Right. What You mentioned the golf courses. So you have people that are specialists in that kind of thing?
We do. So we actually have a golf pro. He's on the PGA Tour. Who is he kind of manages the golf course for us. So he's the point of contact down there. So yeah. And it's nice. Jack Nicklaus designed the golf course at Tim's Ford, so it's actually part of the.
I did not know that. Yeah.
It's part of the. It's called the Bear Trace golf courses. So it's kind of a signature thing that most of them are on Tennessee state parks.
Right. Okay. So do you ever actually get to play golf?
Occasionally. Not as often as I'd like.
I used to run a hotel, and when I remember looking at ads before I went down there about the pool and all this other stuff that was offered, but when I got to be manager, I realized you don't ever have a chance to use that kind of thing.
Every once in a while I get guests in, and I'm like, oh, well, we can have our meeting while we play around the golf or something.
Yeah.
So it kind of works out sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you can't beat that, I tell you. Being outdoors and that kind of thing's got to be a wonderful way to make a living. I'm sure you guys have a lot of things going on out there that you'd like to tell the public about.
We do.
You want to share some things with us?
So, on the 5th of June, we were actually fortunate. We took our old park office. It was a building that was sitting on the park that we wanted to find a better use for. And so we opened up this building. We started on construction of it about 2 years ago. And so we now have a nature center on the park. And you can go in there. We have an over 700-gallon aquarium that's all Tennessee native. So it's stuff out of Tim's Ford Lake. And there's a transition that goes down into a river section. And that's all Elk River fish that are in there. We have an observation beehive. We have an amphibian exhibit, turtles, snakes, birds, you name it. It's all in there. We've got a botanical garden outside that Jack Daniels was fortunate, and they gave us the funding to be able to put that garden in. And then on the back porch of it, we now have a rappelling tower that's going to be open to the public. We're trying to train some of our seasonals. Where I started my career, we have 3 of them on the park this year.
So you're talking about the visitors to the park can actually...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. And so we're hoping to continue to add on to this building as we go. But we will be running some clinics, and you can come in and do that. We bought a new pontoon boat this year, so we're able to do some pontoon boat tours. Those are offered 5 days a week. And so you can go on our webpage or go through our Facebook, and it'll link you over to it.
So you actually take them around and show them the layout of the lake and stuff like that. So.
Yep, we show off some of our lands. We just show off the overall beauty of the area.
Yeah. Okay. That's got to be fun. If you don't have a boat, that might be your only shot.
Maybe you're just thinking about getting a boat and you want to see if you like it.
See if you like it.
Come out and try ours.
Yeah. So I can imagine that you might have some harrowing experiences from time to time, though, in the event that there's perhaps a drowning or something like that. Or
we do help a lot with we've got partners with Sheriff's Office, Rescue Squad, Franklin County Rescue Squad, and ourselves, and TWRA also gets involved in this some. So we're kind of team up together, and just whoever can get there fastest is kind of who takes the call. Often the rest of us are all coming right after, but we're definitely a part of the rescue on the lake.
Right. Tim's Ford property out there, that's just, we're fortunate to have that here because it's a beautiful area. And,
we are very thankful, and this year we've really had a lot of the locals, and it's been interesting. We've had locals that they're like, I haven't been here in 5 years, and I think just with the way that the world has been the last year, it kind of got people back to the parks and doing some of those things. So it was really great to see that back, but it's been really great hearing the locals talk about how the park is growing, and we're getting some new features and some new things that we're trying to do for folks.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, we're all about bringing in Alabama dollars into Tennessee. They can come on up. We're happy to see them. But really, we're here for this local community. We want to be tied in, and we're trying to do things to help our local kids and our local families.
Right. How long have you been park manager?
I've been almost 3 years now.
Almost 3 years?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're a lucky man, Sean.
Well, thank you, sir.
You really are. and we're lucky to have you come by and talk to us a little bit about what's going on out there. And always know you can come back anytime you want to. We'd love to have you.
Absolutely. We'd be happy to share.
Anytime you've got something you'd like to let the public know about. Thank you so much for coming by today. Lucky guy right here. I'm not kidding. We'll be right back in just a moment, folks, right after this.
I am tremendously blessed to be living at Parkview and very happy to be part of a loving and caring community.
Best thing you can say is this really a great place to live? That's all there is to it, no doubt about that. It's your home. You just do what you would if you were at your private home. You know, we love it. It's great.
It's just like having a whole neighborhood around you, and it's fun.
It's just a great place to live.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
Hello, I'm Ray Norris, Mayor of Tullahoma. I want to thank the citizens of Tullahoma who've been following CDC guidelines for helping prevent the spread of COVID-19. You've been wearing your mask, you've been getting your vaccinations, and I'll tell you, it's working. Today, our positivity rate is less than 5%. That's the lowest it's been since the earliest days of our pandemic. So, now I want to urge each of you to continue to follow these guidelines, and together, let's get this pandemic behind us and get our country back to the old normal where we need to be. Thank you.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Tullahoma is so blessed to have a wonderful hands-on science center right here in our community under the direction of Sean Amadon. And last Saturday night, they had their grand opening after the... Oh, sorry. That doesn't make any sense. I do that sometimes. This Saturday night will be the grand opening of the Science Center since the pandemic. And we're happy to show it to you now.
All right, we're at the Hands-On Science Center here in Tullahoma. I'm talking with Sean Amadon, and Sean, this Saturday we've got a big event coming up, the grand reopening, right? Before we get into that, as much as we hate to, let's kind of roll back to 2020 a little bit. Again, as much as we hate to. Yeah. One thing I thought that was very cool that you guys did while the actual building was closed is you had these kits that were available online. Would you explain a little bit about what that was all about?
Yeah, obviously when all that occurred and we had to close the doors, we really needed to, think hard about changing directions temporarily. One of the things was those kits that you mentioned as a take-home science kit, all inclusive, includes all the supplies you need to do a really cool project at home, as well as an online video, a lesson plan, quizzes, all kinds of really great stuff. We did that with all our new virtual programs, our Facebook Lives every other week, our science dailies, so all kinds of stuff. So even though we were closed, we were still able to reach over 50,000 people in 2020.
That's amazing.
So actually more people than we reached before that, just in a different format.
Just a different way, yeah.
So we are really excited this coming year with this opening because we'll have that combined with the old stuff.
Right. Well, that's what I was going to say, that it was so popular that why not? Let's continue with it. Let's go with it. And I know the kids loved it and all of that. Even the parents loved it, you know, so that's fantastic. So we can now move past that.
Yeah.
As we all want to do, and we can go to this coming Saturday. We've got the grand reopening. Tell us, what can the public expect?
Yeah, so we are super, super excited. We have a huge event planned. June 19th from 9 to 5. We're going to have a huge free day for all you guys to come out. Enjoy our reopening. We have all kinds of new exhibits we're going to be reintroducing to people. A brand new rotational exhibit. Lots of vendors coming out. We're going to have some bird of prey shows going on.
Oh, wow.
We have shows every hour in our auditorium.
Great.
We have stuff going outside. We have live music going, food. Like I said, it's general admission, completely free.
Great.
All the science shows are free. You can enjoy the music. We have free crafts going on. We do have a couple other fundraising things, like some face painting and stuff like that.
Of course.
But yeah, it's going to be great. 9 to 5 on June 19th. It's going to be awesome. We're very excited.
Got to get up here. And I'll tell you what, while we're here, Sean, if you wouldn't mind, maybe take us on a little bit of a little tour here of some of the new amenities or some of the things people can look forward to.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, as you can see, those of you that know the place, it's starting to look a little bit different. We still got lots of work. We're on the home stretch here coming in, but we've completely reorganized this room. Right over this way, we got our new airplane wall, and we have a space wall, and 2 really cool new exhibits that have not been out for a very, very long time. We got zooforensics, where kids get to use a microscope and try and determine if an animal skin is real or if a poacher got it, all kinds of cool stuff. A new brain exhibit that's going in here. You can see we got some of our cleaners in the background. We got some new part-time people that are coming helping us get set up. Over here we have our early engineering hall that we have revamped. We got Kayla freshening up our aquatic section over here. So we got our early engineering hall, our sight and sound hall, a whole bunch of new monitors up throughout the facility. We have new Chromecast devices where we're going to be displaying on all different types of displays. Speakers all throughout the place. Over there, we're going to have our silent auction going on during the event.
Cool.
Lots of cool stuff there. Let's see, all kinds of new outside stuff. And we have our sound garden that's going in. We're moving more instruments out there. You can see we got the big whisper dishes up. We have our new outdoor cabanas. That was part of a grant that we received as part of the CARES Act.
Those cabanas are very nice too, by the way. Those are great.
Yeah, we're very excited about those. We're going to be able to utilize those for our take-home science kits. People can actually do them out in the cabanas when they pick them up if they want.
Great.
Speaking of take-home science kits, it's still in the progress right now, but we have a new special exhibit where guests can actually view our take-home science kit making room.
Oh, wow.
So, like in the
See how it all comes together.
Like the big museums where there's an actual paleontologist working behind the window.
Yeah.
Our volunteers that are putting together our kits will be behind a window for the guests to see.
Wow.
And speaking of volunteers, we got lots of opportunities if you want to help put together these kits and things like that.
Oh,
just contact us.
You can always use more hands on deck, I'm sure. That's for sure. That's for sure. While we're talking about it, are there any sponsors or anything that you would really like to give a shout out to?
Absolutely. NAS, National Aerospace Solutions, huge sponsor for the event, as well as CFC Recycling. A huge thank you to those two guys.
Yeah.
We also have a couple supporters that we want to mention. It's the Women in Defense Tennessee Valley Chapter, Exchange Media, and Tullahoma Vision Associates.
There we go.
Absolutely.
All right. Great.
So definitely huge thank you to them. They've been a great help.
That's fantastic. And I love the animal display back here too. That's
we're
one of my favorites.
That a little bit too.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Oh, well, Sean, it's going to be a fun day.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And everybody come on out, bring the kids. It's going to be a great time. And again, it's give the folks what the times are.
Yeah,
again.
it's June 19th, 9 to 5. Like I said, most of the stuff is free. We got, some paid stuff, food, face paintings.
And donations are always
Donations
welcome.
are very, very welcome. We may even have a snake for that people can hold for a donation.
There we go.
Lots of fun stuff.
Well, Sean, it's going to be a great time, and really look forward to it. And thank you guys for all of the work that you do.
Yeah, thank you.
We really do appreciate it. We're looking forward to it.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. I just knocked the tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat, They do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the paint works at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fixes you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back. I'm glad to introduce to you today Susan Johnson, you're actually from Winchester, is that right, or somewhere else?
No, I'm actually from Comont.
Oh, okay. So I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm glad to have you, though, and you're here with Isaiah 117.
Yes, I am.
And what's happening? Another fundraiser?
We are.
Or one of many fundraisers?
We are actually, we were talking during the break, we're actually starting up trying to raise the money for our yearly budget. And so the first one we're going to have is June 25th, and we're real excited. It's going to be a music night fundraiser over at the Winchester City Park, over on Philip Fulmer Parkway.
And that's a great park, by the way.
It is.
Lots of room to park, plenty of space.
It's got the pavilion with picnic tables, so people will be able to, get in the shade and eat. But we're excited because I feel like COVID, you weren't able to get out.
I know, and now people are ready to get out, so maybe they'll come and help support your project. This is Friday, June 25th.
Yes.
which is just around the corner.
It's actually next Friday,
Yeah.
so it's coming really quickly. The great thing I think is, we just really want that night. This is kind of different. This is the first time we've done this, and so we're just wanting to get out and celebrate all that God's done for us. We're building a house during a pandemic.
And you've got some of the house up already?
We do, so we're actually, it's dried in. The plumbing is getting roughed in this week, and we're getting ready to start electrical soon.
That's a huge challenge and a great project.
It is. And I mean, it's something to be, happy about and to celebrate, because even though there was the pandemic and shortage of materials, and materials have skyrocketed.
You're still forging ahead.
We are, and people are still coming forward and helping us.
That's great.
And so it's something to celebrate that night. And we have Daniel Troutman is actually heading this up for us.
Okay.
He's actually a CM recording artist.
Oh.
And so he's gotten some more artists to join him that night, and Josh and Lindsay Conrad, they are very talented as well, and also Joey Smith. So we've got 3.
You've got quite a great lineup.
We do.
And these are all Christian artists?
They are.
That probably write some of their own songs?
I know for sure that
Possibly.
Daniel does,
Yeah.
and I think Joey does, and I'm not sure about Lindsay and them, but I would say probably.
And the gates are going to open at 5 o'clock, and the music starts at 6, and I know you're going to have food trucks.
Yes, and so far the food trucks that we have, and I'll share those with you guys, we haven't posted them yet, so you're the first to know.
Good.
We have Sweet Ellie's, Miss O's Donuts, 321 Dogs, The Good Food Spot. We're going to have individually candy and packaged and things, and also Hillbilly Q Barbecue is going to be there as well.
Wonderful.
So there'll be lots of options for people to go ahead and maybe come in at 5, go ahead and get something
Now,
to eat.
is there plenty of tables, or do they need to bring chairs of any kind, or is there plenty of seating?
There's picnic tables under the pavilion where they'll be able to eat and things like that, but you'll need to bring a chair or blanket, whatever you want to sit in.
To sit in to watch the music and all that. And I'm going to assume, rain or shine, this show is going on. Is that correct?
Well, we hope. We hope that we're not having any kind of storms or bad weather, because they're doing amazing. We've got a sound group coming in. Daniel's worked hard on that.
That's awesome.
So it's going to be a concert sound show. So it's going to be amazing.
And I know that there are some other fundraisers coming up. Do you want to talk about them?
Yes, so on July 17th, it's a Lemonade Stand Challenge. And the cool thing is, any group that has an Isaiah 117 house, whether it's an open home or an expansion, we're all doing Lemonade Stand Challenges. So that's all across the state of Tennessee.
I don't
Indiana.
understand what that is. Tell me what it is.
So the Isaiah 117 house, there's different groups in different counties and even different states that are doing the same thing we're doing. They're trying to raise money
to help
open a
people.
home for Removal Day for children.
Yeah.
And so everywhere that they have an Isaiah group, we're all going to be having lemonade stands. And that's just a day that we're going to try
That's a neat thing.
It is, and we want people to get out and compete. And last night we actually come up with the idea that whoever wins, we'll do an ice cream sundae party for them. And some of our team members will come out and serve ice cream and do that for the kids or whoever wins.
For people out there that are not totally aware of what Isaiah House means, give them a quick rundown of who actually benefits from this production.
So Isaiah 117 House provides care for children who are awaiting foster placement. We will serve as a transitional place from children from the time they're removed by the Department of Children's Services until they go to their foster placement. And that wait could be hours and it could be days.
Because in the past, sometimes they'd be left at maybe a police station or something, right? They didn't have a place to go before they went to the new home.
So currently what they do is when a child is removed, they take that child usually to the office, to Department of Children's Service office, a conference room. In Grundy County, we don't have a Department of Children's Service office, so sometimes our children are taken to offices at our county jail. And then if the wait's going to be a while, they will drive them off the mountain to a Department of Children's Service office.
So it's a huge responsibility. Children must be frightened, and it's so nice to have a place that's more like home.
It is, and that's what we want, is a home environment where volunteers are going to be there just to be an extra set of hands for the caseworkers. The caseworkers will stay with that child. It's not a placement. They're not going to live there, but it's just that in-between place of finding placement. They'll also leave the house with supplies to go to their foster placements. So whether it's beds or clothes, whatever they need, we're going to provide that.
You're going to provide that.
And we're actually already doing that with Department of Children's Service. So when they have a need, we're sending food to the office sometimes, sending supplies, whatever we can do to help even before our homes open.
Now, if people want to donate money or make sure they know what's going on, they go to that I hope that's a website, yes.
They can go to our Facebook page, Isaiah 117 House Coffee, Franklin and Grundy, or you can go to Isaiah117house.com. And my phone number's on the screen, so they're welcome to call or text
questions.
me. And the lemonade stand challenge, I will explain that briefly. All you have to do is if you want to have a lemonade stand, we love for the children to get involved. This is a time that children can help other children.
Yeah.
So it's real simple. Decide on your location, to pick your hours. You let us know where it's going to be. We're going to blast that on social media to get you some business. And then you just set up the lemonade and let people donate. We ask you not to charge and let them donate.
But you're selling it, but you're not keeping the money for yourself.
Well, they're going to donate.
It's a wonderful donation. It's good for kids to help with that.
And we actually already
Something
have
they can
one
do.
in Tullahoma. So that's exciting. Citizens Tri-County Bank. It's the one on 201 North Jackson Street. They're going to have one that day from 8 to 12.
Good.
And so that's great. They're going to do that for us. The other thing is on our family and our music night, we do not charge on that either. So donations will be appreciated, but people just come out and enjoy the show and just give what you feel led to do.
And if they feel like writing a check, they just fill it out to Isaiah 117?
That's correct. And just get with us and I can give them the address or pick it up.
Deductible?
It is. We're a nonprofit.
Right.
Yes. So we would love to see everybody out that night. It's going to be a good, fun night. And we're also going to have mini commercials that night to give people insight. Maybe some foster kids are going to be speaking. We've got foster families and caseworkers. So we'll have some mini commercials to give you some more information on all about the ministry.
That's really interesting. It is. And what a great job you're doing, Susan.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We have
How long have you
great
been doing
team.
this?
Since 2019, so not too long.
And then you had to get through the pandemic, and that was really hard to do fundraisers, obviously.
Yes.
So this is very important.
It is.
Well, I encourage everybody to support this wonderful organization, and I hope you'll come back soon and tell me you've got the house all finished.
Oh, sounds great.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more.
What does caring look like? This is what caring looks like.
This is setting an example for others.
This is rising to the challenge.
This is doing what works.
This is doing my part.
This is doing your part.
Each of us individually.
Acting as one. Keeping your distance, no matter how awkward it may seem.
This is wearing a mask.
Over your nose and mouth, like we are.
Keeping our distance.
Each wearing masks.
Not under your chin.
Not above your head.
Not in your hand, but over your nose and mouth.
This is listening to the expert. If you'll just
wear one of these.
Caring makes community.
And this is what caring looks like.
Until COVID-19 is no longer a threat.
Until COVID-19 is no longer a threat.
Until COVID-19 is no longer a threat.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
The food at Parkview, well, I haven't had a bad meal there yet.
The food at Parkview is absolutely scrumptious. I mean, it is really good. It's just like home cooking.
And then there are the cookies. Oh my, they bake cookies every day, and they are super.
The food is truly incredible, and it's like being on a cruise ship.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back. I just about forget to say something to you out there. I have Doug with me, and he's with the War Trace Festival coming up.
Yes, ma'am. War Trace Music Fest.
War Trace Music Fest, and it's this weekend?
Yeah, this Saturday, June 19th.
June 19th.
Yes, ma'am.
And starts at?
Gates open at 6, and the music will start at 7 o'clock.
And that's 6 p.m.
Yes, 6 p.m.
Not a.m.
It'd be real early if you got up at 6 a.m., wouldn't it?
It sounds great.
It's gonna be fun.
Some of the artists that you want to name the artists for the people?
Yeah, we have Justin Williams. He's a local guy here that works in the community, but also plays music, on the side, and it's really good, kind of an up-and-coming artist. And then there's Asher Cataldo, one of our local favorites from the town of War Trace.
Yeah.
Born and raised there his whole life, and also is pursuing his dream of being a musician full-time.
Wonderful.
And so we're giving him a platform to help him and his phase in life. And then our headliner is Dallas Moore. He's out of Ohio, but he tours all over the country. He probably plays 200 plus dates a year.
Is he a country musician?
He is, yes, ma'am. This will be a country music time. Yeah.
So all the artists are country artists?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
I think it sounds like fun.
It's going to be a good time.
And if you want something to eat, you're going to have food trucks?
Oh, yeah, we'll have food trucks there. We got a pizzeria in town. It also serves pizza. We'll have multiple food trucks on site. We'll have games for the kids to come out.
That's wonderful.
It's going to be an evening type event, so we'll have a big sound stage, a big production, a big light show. It's going to be fun. We did 4 of them last year, and it was just a great time.
And it's family friendly?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
So bring your whole family, and I believe you told me it was free.
No.
Somebody told me, it was the one I just had. I'm sorry.
Well, we are a non-profit organization, the Chamber of Commerce.
So let's talk about the price of tickets.
That's right. It's $15.
Oh, well, that's almost free. That's a
very
great
affordable.
Deal.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
and children the same price. Everybody's the same price.
I think children 12 and under are free.
Okay.
Yeah, 12 and under are free.
Maybe that's where I heard free.
Yeah.
But what a great opportunity.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be great.
And to support, are you giving the money to the profits to a certain thing?
What we do is, in the organization, because we're non-profits, what we do is it helps us when we raise the funds to continue to have these events. I mean, all of our events are sponsored by a lot of folks that come out and help us put these events on. We have Tyson Food, Rogers Group, Doty Creek Farms, we have K&A Acrylics, CSX, the railroad people here that runs through town. They sponsored this year, so we have quite a few sponsors, man, that help us put on this event. So obviously we help promote their businesses and what they're doing as well.
And then you'll have money for another event.
That's
possibly.
Right. Exactly.
Do you want more sponsors?
Oh, yeah, we would love to have more sponsors.
And how do they get to you?
They can contact us through wartracemusicfest.com or go through the Chamber of War, I think, let me get this right now, wartracechamberofcommerce.org. They can also find information at that site as well, and we'd love to have more sponsors.
How big would you say War Trace is?
It's a population about 600 plus.
Isn't that a good thing?
Oh, it's small.
To be in a community of 600 people, and then for you to come in and offer them this wonderful event. I think that is fabulous.
Yeah, it started 2004. Mr. Don Gallagher, our former mayor, and the Chamber of Commerce partnered to put on this event. And over the years, it's changed and it's manifested in different things. We've done bluegrass, we've done country, we've done rock and roll, we've done blues, we've done jazz, and we've done it all. So if it's music orientated, we're involved.
So you don't just settle on one genre of music?
No, we mix it up.
Mr. Gallagher, did he own a guitar shop?
He did, Gallagher Guitars.
They're kind of world famous, aren't they?
They are, and they've moved their operation into downtown Murfreesboro at this particular point in time, and so it's definitely doing real well.
I would think so.
One of our supporters as well.
I remember the Gallaghers from a long time ago, and they did a lot in the music world.
That's right.
So what got you involved?
Well, I have a background in music dating back to the late 80s into the 90s. I worked with several bands out of West Tennessee in the Memphis area, and I was just managing, promoting, and booking. And then when they approached me 3 years ago to do this, I was like, well, you know, I've got the information and the know-how and the knowledge
And you
to
know
do
some
this.
people.
Yeah, know some people, and I've always been a big fan of music. I think that the best art form there is music.
I think
That's
so
the
too,
next canvas.
and I think it does so much for a person's mental attitude
think so, too. Yeah.
and their physical attitude. They move to music, and
That's
all
right.
that is good for you. I know from my experience, because I'm a music person, that I'm a better person because of it. I think it's kept me from being under a bridge, frankly. But anyway, I could go on and on about the benefits of music, and I love that you're doing this in War Trace.
That's why I love it too, man. And when you're there, hopefully the train will come through. We set the stage up right in front of the train, and that train rolls right by the stage, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's
I'm sure that it is.
We really couldn't pay for that kind of backdrop to have.
Right.
But we have to have it there. It's just lovely.
And you just incorporate it into the ambiance of the show.
Yes, ma'am.
I guess there's plenty of parking.
Oh yeah, plenty of parking there. Yes, ma'am. Yep.
So,
and you bring your chairs. If you have a pop-up tent, if you want to have that for some shade, but it will be in the evening type.
Right, so
in the evening, so the sun will be going down. It'll be nice and cool.
And you might want to bring a blanket or
that's right,
a sweater or whatever,
betcha.
because you never know if it's going to get cold. But let's go over again the date, the time, and all that.
Okay.
So
Saturday, June 19th. Gates open up at 6. Music starts at 7.
So,
and it will run to about 10:30.
You have time to go to a food truck, get all your food,
That's right.
get laid back there to watch this wonderful show.
Wonderful show. Yes,
Doug,
ma'am.
you're a fabulous man.
No, well, you're a fabulous lady.
I love that you're
Thank you
doing
for having
this
me here.
right here in our little tiny
that's right.
part of Tennessee.
Because I look at all this area as our community, whether it be War Trace, Bell Buckle, Tullahoma, Manchester. This is all.
It's all one big community.
That's right.
And we hope people will come from all over to War Trace. Do you need to tell people actually where War Trace is? If they
well, it's just look on a map. It's actually 6 miles off of I-24. That'd be Highway 64. It runs off of and takes you right into town if you're coming off I-24.
And when we say town, we're not talking about a big city.
Oh no, we're talking about a small
place.
town.
Well, Doug, I gotta get off. They've cut me off already.
No problem.
Thanks for coming. It's
Thank
great
you.
to see you.
Bet. Yes, ma'am. Thanks so much.
We'll be back.
Clayton's has been Tullahoma's shoe store for over 120 years, and Florence Hall continues that tradition today. We're the only shoe store in town that starts with measuring your foot to make sure you get the perfect fit in a quality shoe. That includes narrow through wide widths for men, women, and children. Clayton Shoes, the family shoe store you'll love.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hello everyone, I'm John Rickman.
And this is Pat Welch, and John, we're here today for the conversations of John and Pat segment 92.
We've gone
92.
from 1 to 92. Pat.
One at a time.
One at a time.
We went through a period where we were going back in the archives, and we missed a couple of tapings, but we're back today. Nobody's going to be happier about that than my mother. She's been checking on me.
She's been saying, "Where are y'all?"
Where
and Mama, they've played these. They're replayed a few of them. I know, and I want to see new ones.
That's right. They're looking for new, and all
y'all
of
can
our
do
fans
better.
everywhere.
What you meant, y'all can do better.
Yeah, wait till you see today. What do we got, John?
We're going to do a segment from the Ralph Emery Show when Jimmy, Phil, and myself, us two and him, played on the Ralph Emery Show. We were semi-regulars from 80 to 91. And this song, we're going to talk about tomatoes today. In Chapel Hill, Tennessee, I can tell you that tomatoes is almost like an art form, because those people over there, once the tomatoes are on the vine and they're ripe, they'll pass them out to neighbors. They trade plants out.
And Chapel Hill had been a big deal about who had the biggest one.
Yeah. And so anyway, we're going to see that segment.
John, I want to point out
hold
before
on
we get
a second.
started. I'm scratching my head again. Let me stop. I've lost myself. You gonna be able to point me out, Philip?
Yeah. Let's keep going there, Pat.
All right.
That boy.
Make sure you edit.
You got all sometimes disease.
We'll notice if I can ever get it out that this tape, I've cheated a little bit. I've seen the little excerpts of it, and I'm going to tell you that John and Jimmy and Phil probably were a little lighter then. But this is not to say that their BMI, the body mass index, is too inappropriate for their age now.
Only when we do these segments do I think, I have eaten too much here lately, and I should have scaled back where I could look a little smaller on the camera. And I'm sorry for this today, folks, but I have enjoyed my food here lately.
The plaid would be all right, John. It's the stripes that make you look a little bit.
Let's play Ralph Emery introducing us to and him.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me distinguished pleasure, esteemed pleasure, or something like that.
Something like that.
All those wonderful words to bring us to and him.
Well, thank you, Ralph. Thank you. Here's a little song about homegrown tomatoes. There ain't nothing in the world that I like better than bacon, and lettuce, and homegrown tomatoes. Out in the morning, early in the garden, get your ripen, don't get a hard un. Plant them in the spring, eat them in the summer. All winter you without them, but in Cuba they're abundant. I forget all about the sweating and digging every time I go out and get me a big gun. Homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'll I be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. You can eat a homegrown tomato, that's sure, but there's nothing a homegrown tomato won't cure. You can eat it in a salad, eat it in a stew. You can even make your very own tomato juice. You can eat it with eggs, eat it with gravy, eat it with beans, that's pinto or navy. Put it on the side, put it in the middle, put a homegrown tomato on the hot cake griddle. Homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'll I be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. If I ever change this life I lead, I'll be a Johnny Tomato Seed, 'cause that's what this country needs. It's homegrown tomatoes in every backyard you see. When I die, don't you bury me in a box in a cemetery. Out in the garden would be much better, and I could be pushing up homegrown tomatoes. Homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'll I be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. Homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'll I be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. Homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes.
You guys are suddenly surrounded by them, so watch where you step. They said we could. They said we could do this since Earl Cullum wasn't on the show. Ralph, we brought all these homegrown tomatoes, and anybody here can get them. They're out of Jimmy's garden. They're not too big. Jimmy's next door neighbor has a lot bigger ones, but Jimmy's gardening on his septic tank line, and they didn't grow near as big. Good.
That'll be enough of us two at him.
Those tomatoes rolling was unbelievable.
Oh, man, that was something.
It's better than me having thrown at you, I'll say that.
It was springtime because those tomatoes weren't hardly to the side. They weren't red at all. But tomatoes. Is a tomato a fruit or a vegetable?
I think technically it's supposed to be a fruit. But
well,
I know there's been plenty of discussion about that, and there's probably millions been made and lost on talk shows, or games, Jeopardy, and so forth.
Well, this is a little story about tomatoes and how they're supposed to be seen as a fruit or a vegetable. A man named John Nix founded a fruit commission in New York City in 1839. One of the first companies to ship produce from Virginia, Florida, and Bermuda to New York. In 1883, President Chester A. Arthur signed the Tariff Act of 1883, requiring a tax to be paid on imported vegetables, but not fruit. The John Nix and Company filed suit against the Port Authority of New York to recover back duties paid under protest. They argued against the tariff by pointing out that botanically, a tomato is a fruit due to its seed-bearing structure. And, an orange has seeds inside, so do grapes. So the thinking was that tomatoes had seed in them, thus tomatoes are fruit and shouldn't be taxed. Somebody else brought up okra but I'm not into that argument. This is what was debated on the floor.
We're only worried about 1883 in this discussion.
This debated issue went all the way to the Supreme Court in a case, Nix versus Hedden. The court unanimously decided in favor of the Port Authority and found that the tomato should be classified under the customs regulation as a vegetable based on the ways in which it's used. Judgment for the respondent, the Port Authority. Botanically speaking, a tomato is a fruit, but was deemed by the Supreme Court as a vegetable for the purpose of custom regulations.
Wow.
And in summary, Pat, I'd like to say that, let me leave you with this famous quote.
I'm going to soak it up.
Wisdom is being smart enough to know that a tomato is a fruit, but wise enough not to put it in a fruit salad.
That's excellent. I may write that down.
Let me say it again. Wisdom is being smart enough to know that a tomato is a fruit, but wise enough not to put it in a fruit salad.
That would make
another old saying of significance. By the time a man is wise enough to watch his step, he's too old to go anywhere. And Pat,
John, we need to. Did y'all just exchange tomatoes and eat them as sandwiches and so forth, or did you ever fry them? And wasn't that a big deal too?
Well, green tomatoes were the kind you fried, but I'm truthfully saying I don't remember eating any when I was young, but a lot of people did that. We wait.
That's very much considered.
We didn't have much of a garden.
Southern delicacy, though.
My father worked in the city. He worked in Lewisburg, and we farmed, but we didn't have time for gardens. We braced a tobacco patch and things like that.
And you milked plenty of cows.
Milked cows, but we'd have neighbors, or my mother would somehow have tomatoes brought in the house, and one that is ripe, very ripe. You go to the store and you'll see one that has a vine on it, and it looks like it's supposed to be beautiful, but you get into it and it's not a homegrown tomato.
No, there's no fruit or vegetable that there's such a disparate difference between in season and out, I think, as a tomato.
That's right.
I have to have something with the
Bacon,
tomato.
lettuce, tomato sandwiches.
Oh,
just
in season,
delicious.
there's
In
nothing
season.
better. Yeah.
Now, I'm going to leave you
With the
these.
correct amount of mayonnaise with it.
You're one that watches your health.
Try to.
And as my old daddy said, Ike Rickman, if it tastes good, spit it out, Pat.
In most cases, that is true. Yeah.
All right.
John, that was a great segment on tomatoes.
My brother, by the way, has had some medical issues lately, something similar to Guillain-Barré syndrome. So he has had some, he can't walk very well at this point and use his hands very well. So hopefully he'll be able to play music someday and enjoy himself again.
We're hoping and praying that he's soon back where he was, singing about fried green tomatoes, and we don't want him to push up tomatoes too quick.
No, not at all.
John, that wraps up segment 92. We hope it's not the last segment. We hope that management will encourage us to come back and support us in our endeavors to tell more stories in segment 93.
Some of them be truthful.
Some be truthful. Thank y'all.
Talking history about this and that. It's Conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Partners for Healing provides medical care to the working uninsured of Coffee, Franklin, and Moore counties. We are in Tullahoma from 8 to 5, Monday through Thursdays, and in Manchester on Fridays from 8 to 12. We provide primary medical care and offer an in-house disease management program.
My name is Rosie Mitchell, and I would just like to say I am blessed to have partners in my life.
Please call 455-5014 for more information. Thank you for being one of our Partners for Healing.
Hello, this is Janie Price. When my husband Ray Price would tour across the country, his favorite place to dine was Cracker Barrel Old Country Store locations. His favorite thing to order was the Uncle Herschel.
And the beauty of it all is forever. You'll be holding me to.
I miss Ray dearly, and I'm so proud that his last album, Beauty Is the Final Sessions, is available at his favorite restaurant.
A love affair to remember.
The project includes a duet with Martina McBride and harmony vocals from Vince Gill. Ray believed this to be the best recording he had ever made.
Oh, I wish I was 18 again.
I think you'll agree when you pick up your copy of Beauty Is the Final Sessions at a Cracker Barrel Old Country Store location near you or at crackerbarrel.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm pleased to have joining us on the stage. This is one of the best parts of my job right here because I'm with the two lovely ladies that are joining me on the set right now. We're pleased to have with us to my left is Amber Haley, and to her left is Loretta Christian, and they are with Horseplay here in Tullahoma. So, Loretta, give us a little overview of what Horseplay is about before we start this.
Well, Horseplay's been here 25 years and next year. And we will be celebrating all next year our 25th anniversary, our silver anniversary. Horseplay was started because the original founders of Horseplay saw a need to work with boys and girls in this area that had that were challenged. And by horseback riding therapy. That's how horseplay got started. And they started off with only one horse. It was borrowed, and the tack was borrowed, and the property that they had session on was borrowed. It was outside. And a few years back, Horseplay had the opportunity to buy the land where we're located now at 815 West Side Drive here in Tullahoma. We have a little over 15 acres out there, and we have 8 horses, well, 6 horses and 2 ponies, and we have a enclosed riding arena. That way the children can ride even when it's raining, starting in early spring and going until after Halloween. And we have 2 riding instructors that are PATH certified, and we have 64 boys and girls now. Come a long way. And the sessions last 6 weeks, and there's 4 students to a class. We have classes on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I believe. And right now we're doing a riding camp for boys and girls that just want to learn how to ride and be around horses. And these boys and girls are not challenged in any way. And this is another way that our program director came up that to help bring money into horseplay, because our regular students, the ones that are challenged, their families don't have to pay us anything for their child or children to come ride at horseplay. And in order to keep our doors open so that our boys and girls that need the horseback riding therapy that we offer, we have to do fundraisers. We have to seek out sponsors. We ask for donations of all kinds. I don't turn down any donation. And it takes a lot of money to keep horseplay doors open. We have horses eat a lot. They have to have care. They have their shoes, their feet have to be taken care of. They have to eat special foods. The vet has to come and see them. And they even have to have dental work done. And so we have 3 full-time employees that we pay that out there, but the board members we don't take any money. We're strictly volunteer, and what we do is try to make it better for the children out at horseplay by our fundraisers. And right now we're trying to get enough money to have our parking lot paved so that the parents can bring their children up closer to the riding arena so that they can get them out and get their wheelchairs or whatever device that they have to use to get inside the arena. It'll be easier, because right now they have to take them out and they push the wheelchair over grass and gravel to get inside the arena. And we've got bids out or that are coming in for the paving of our parking lot. And
you have a specific fundraiser coming up for that, is it?
Oh yes, sir. We have a horse show that's coming up in July the 10th in Manchester at the fairgrounds, and it's riding for horseplay, the kids, and that's going to start at 4 o'clock and go until all the classes are over with. And then we're also having our trail ride that I'm working on in September, and it's a 3-day trail ride at the Bolo Club in Sherwood. And we're having a live band, country music band. It's called Double Shot. They're out of Lynchburg. They're twin brothers. And I found out about them by a lot of people called me and told me about them because
And that's coming up in September,
September
right?
23rd.
Let's take just a moment and talk to Amber before we run out of time here. Amber Haley, you have won apparently some beauty contest here. I can
Yes,
tell by
sir.
the way you're dressed. Tell us a little bit about that.
I am with the Miss U.S. pageantry system, and I hold the title of Miss Alabama for 2020. I travel to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee for nationals in August. But I have created my own platform for the pageants, and it is called HORSE, which stands for Helping Others Ride in a Supportive Environment.
Great idea.
And I am paired with Horseplay to help fundraise and help raise awareness for therapeutic riding. And I have been with horses for several years, and I have enjoyed working with horses, and I've also worked with children with disabilities, and I love to see children with the disabilities in a happy environment, and they love to interact with the animals, and it always makes me happy to see them happy. So,
Right. So you ride horses yourself,
yes,
right?
I showed in competitions for 2 or 3 years, and we showed at Lincoln County Horseman Association, and it was always a lot of fun. Long days, but a lot of fun.
Right, right. So you served 1 year in your position?
I got my title in, I believe, June or July of 2020, and I will hold this reign until the current title for next year, for 2021, 2022. When someone claims this title, that's when my title is done.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. Do you live in Alabama?
Yes, sir. We live right on the Tennessee state line.
I see. Okay. I can tell she enjoys what she's doing. She's got that big smile, and certainly I can certainly understand why she won this title. She's a beautiful young lady.
Thank you.
All right, we're about out of time, I'm afraid, but tell us again the dates of that. The horse show is July
The Walking
10th.
Horse Show is July the 10th at the fairgrounds in Manchester, and it'll start at 4 o'clock, and it'll go until all the classes are over with. And I don't know what time that'll be. It'll
Of course,
be late.
yeah.
It'll be late because I believe there's 40 classes.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And there's going to be a lot of beautiful walking horses there. That's
Yeah.
one of my favorite breeds.
Absolutely, and I think you guys are one of the primary beneficiaries
Yes, sir.
of the proceeds raised from that.
We will get all of it this year.
Oh, you get all of it this
Yes,
year,
sir.
okay. And I think I know that's because they've done such a wonderful job in what they do. And this is a therapeutic riding program, and these young folks who have these disabilities are really, really benefit from that big time. Are you going to be there as well?
I am planning on being there, so
Okay.
yes, sir, I will.
All right.
And she's going to be at the trail ride in September too.
Okay, I understand. It's a great thing what you're doing. How old are you?
17.
17. Okay, I just think it's a wonderful thing that you're doing. Such really worthwhile and great work.
Thank
You know,
you.
for people who really, really need that help. That's a great way to start your life off. I bet you're going to be going places big time.
Thank you.
All right, if you'd like to help this program, even by just making a donation or by attending the horse show, would be great because you're probably going to enjoy that, or the trail ride is going to be a lot of fun. The number for Horseplay is what?
You can go to Horseplay's website, www.horseplayinc.org, and there's places on there that says to give or donate or anything like that, and you can go there to give, or you can make out a check and mail it to Horseplay Inc. at P.O. Box 393, Tullahoma, Tennessee.
All right, all right. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank
It's a
you.
great, great program. We wish you all the luck in the world in the upcoming events. Folks, we'll be right back in just a moment.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Pink. Uh-oh. I just knocked the tree over. This the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat, you know? They do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the paint works at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, Peggy, it's been a lot of fun hanging out with you today. I'm telling you what, it's been fun.
You'll come back more often.
I think I will. If John will give me another shot.
We had a nice day.
We did.
And some nice guests and a lot of things happening.
Yeah,
So
we sure did.
I think we're supposed to say goodbye.
Yeah, all right, I think you're right. Bye-bye. We'll see you next time.